101 review. Book 101 is all about the books that I read for the last 40 years. And today I have my special guest. He is helping entrepreneurs grow online by breaking down the exact steps to build a profitable business. No other than Mr. Ivan Mana.
Hello, hello. Thank you for inviting me to be part of the show, Daniel.
Welcome to Book 101, Mr. Ivan. And can you please introduce more about yourself?
Absolutely, yeah. So I'm a digital marketer, started back in 2017, so almost 8 years ago, running a variety of affiliate products, and have lately shifted into online marketing and helping businesses grow online via training courses and done for you services.
Mr. Ivan Mana, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world. And today, let's talk about why most small businesses fail at marketing and how to fix it. Tell us, what are the top three reasons small businesses struggle with marketing based on your experience?
Yeah, so I'd say based on all the clients and all the people that I've worked with, the biggest reason is that they don't take the time to get the leads. They go straight into selling, whether it's their services or products, and they completely neglect the part about collecting leads, which is incredibly important because email marketing, when you get the person's email name and you start sending them emails and following up with them, that's actually your greatest revenue source from all the different stats that are out there. You can even go yourself on Google Analytics. They have a demo account, and you can look into where the Google Merchant Store is actually making the most revenue. And you'll see that even they are making the most revenue from email marketing, from collecting the leads, right? So that's, I'd say, the very top reason is that people go straight into selling and they don't give the freebie to collect the leads. The second reason is that I think people are, or small businesses are very focused on one or maybe a select few traffic sources rather than the wide variety of sources that are there available. So, for example, they focus on the biggest ones like Google Ads or Facebook ads, anything like that, and they neglect the lesser known sources like guest blog posting, podcasting, like answering questions on forums like Reddit or Quora. So there's a plethora of other traffic sources that you have: YouTube, Shorts, TikTok, Snapchat, anything, whatever it is, wherever your audience is, you can take advantage of all the different sources of traffic and go into that. And that's what, you know, the trap that I fell into is I was really focused on just the one biggest one, Google Ads, for example, Facebook ads, and there's way more out there. There are way more traffic sources that are less heard of that are very, very popular. The other biggest reason I'd say that people or small businesses fail to grow online is they don't have a clear offer or hook. So a lot of the time, you have no idea how many times I see people send me a website or a landing page, and the headline that they have there or the title of each individual page is it's not clear, right? It's either very, very lengthy and people have to read a whole load of text to understand what it is you're selling. Um, and it's just coming from the creator's point of view. So the person who's building the website and landing page, they know what the offer or service is about. They know it very well. And so they assume that everybody else reading that page is on the same page, that they're understanding exactly what the offer or the product is about. And that's not the case. You have to really present your offer in a very clear and concise way. There's a saying, keep it simple, stupid, right? And that's very, very applicable to online and digital marketing, especially because the headline, it's not about who comes up with the most clever headline. It's not about that, actually. It's about who comes up with the most simple and straightforward, straight to the point headline that tells the people exactly what your product or service is about. So these are, I'd say, the biggest three reasons that at least I've come across in my training and my done for you consultations for why small businesses or businesses fail online.
How does shiny object syndrome hurt small business marketing efforts?
Yeah, great question. So that's exactly it. If we go back to the first point about collecting the leads, you lose focus, right? The main goal of any business is to make money, right? And so they skip all the in between. So they chase this shiny object, they're making money by selling their service, and they skip the whole part that comes in between. Because when you're selling anything, there's a whole user's journey. It takes an average of 7 touch points before somebody buys. And the stats say that something like 96% of the people don't buy the first time. And so what people do is they just go by instinct, right? And instinct is, hey, I have a new product, a new service, and I want to sell it. So I'm going to do that. That's all. That's your instinct. But you have to understand the process a little bit and understand that there's a buyer's cycle. It's a journey that it takes an average of 7 touch points for people to buy. So you have to do a lot more than just have your offer and that's it. People will sell it. You have to show the audience, whoever your ideal audience is, your offer via free content, ideally. Like I have a YouTube channel, so you would see free videos, maybe YouTube Shorts, maybe Instagram Reels, anything like that. That's the free content. You get people through to first get to know about you, right? So you give that free value, and then you hook them with some free offer. So in our case here, we have free access to my step-by-step course, right? So you're warming up the audience, right? Note how these are all the touch points, right? First, people get to know about you via your blog, maybe, or in my case, a YouTube channel or both. And then they come across my page and then they see this free offer, freebie, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be a free starter course. It could be a free ebook, free PDF, which is what I used to have actually as well. Could be a free consultation, could be a free training session. It really depends on what it is you're doing. There's no one size fits all. It really depends. And as you're warming up the audience, right now, as people enter their name and email into your list, now you can email them and you can follow up with them and provide them even more value, right? You send them a few emails with value, introducing yourself, who you are, giving some tips about whatever niche you're in, and then you sell. Then you propose your product. So this shiny syndrome, shiny object syndrome, is that people skip this whole in between. They go straight from just seeing what they want, which is making money, selling their services, and they skip this whole necessary part of the buyer's journey, which is nurturing people who come across your content, warming them up.
Warming, warming them up. That's the
That's right.
good idea. So, how do so many owners treat marketing as a afterthought rather than priority?
Sorry, you asked how many marketers?
Yes.
Okay. Uh, yeah, because I think it's not a very natural thing for everyone. I mean, not everyone's born understanding and knowing how marketing works and how this whole system works, right? They usually, it just so happens that I am a digital marketer. And so I am aware, right? It's all about awareness, really. I'm just aware of the user cycle. And so I take the necessary steps to follow along with this template, to do what I have to do, understanding that people don't buy the first time. And this is why also, by the way, you see ads, you constantly see Coca-Cola ads, for example, or car ads. And if you look at most of the Coca-Cola ads, they don't say, hey, here's Coca-Cola, buy here, go to this website to buy Coca-Cola. No, they just have an image of Coca-Cola, or they have somebody drinking Coca-Cola, right? Because they understand the journey. They understand that it takes 7 touch points for people to buy, and they just want to raise that brand awareness. If somebody by chance doesn't know what Coca-Cola is, they at least see it and it's in their mind. And then next time they see it, they're much more likely to buy. So yeah, does that answer the question?
Yes, indeed, Mr. Ivan. So let's talk about the budget and resources challenges. What is the biggest mistake small businesses make when allocating their marketing budget?
Yeah, another great question, as always, Daniel. So you have free traffic sources, as some of the examples I mentioned, posting on Reddit, on Quora, guest blog posting, making shorts and reels and all things like that. And then you also have paid sources. So asking for backlinks. So going to websites and saying, hey, could you please add a backlink to my website so that I grow in popularity? Or certain writing articles for somebody, or paid ads, obviously, Google, Facebook, all these traffic sources, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, all these different ads you can think of. And so one of the biggest problems I see actually is that people don't invest enough. If they do go the paid ads route, they invest maybe $5 to $10 a day. Now, of course, this depends on what your product is. If your product is more expensive or less expensive, if it costs a few dollars. But the biggest problem I see is that for paid sources like paid ads, you really need to have a bigger budget because you need to test. There's lots of testing and experimentation involved in running the ads with all the different keywords, if people know what keywords are. Keywords, different targeting options, who you're targeting, what countries you're targeting, what sort of people you're targeting, all that. And the biggest problem I see is that when people do start the paid ads, they start with a very low amount. Whereas they should, if they do go that route, they should really expand a little bit more. And if they're going the free route, then they don't have to invest as much. So the biggest problem is that, yeah, people, if they do go the paid route, they don't invest as much because obviously they're a new starting business and there's no guarantee of success. So they don't invest as much as they should because they're afraid, right?
Right. So, Mr. Ivan, what free or affordable marketing tools do you recommend for cash trap businesses?
Could you repeat, for which businesses?
Cash trap businesses, any kind of businesses where
Okay.
they want to have this free or affordable marketing.
Mm-hmm. So that's a tough one because in terms of free tools, most tools have free trials. Like, for example, if you want to build a website, if you don't have a website, you will need to pay for the hosting and the domain. It's like $60 a year or so for a good hosting and domain plan. So you will have to pay for some of that. Some of the tools have free trials. But if you really want to go completely free without paying for anything, then you would really just have to go through the organic methods, like creating an Instagram account and just posting content there, or Twitter, or Reddit and Quora, and giving answers there. So there's no real just completely free tools that you can use to build and grow your business. You will have to eventually pay after a free trial. Uh, but there is a free approach to getting traffic via all these social media platforms that are currently available.
Mr. Ivan, let's talk about the strategy and focus. What do small businesses often fail to identify their true target audience?
Yeah, so they really have to go in. So the very first step of any business is really, or one of the first steps is really identifying who your perfect target audience is. And so you need to create this perfect avatar. Russell Brunson talks a lot about this in some of his books of expertsecrets.com secrets, where you really have to go in there and just create the perfect person, how old they are, what gender they are, how tall they are, everything about the perfect person. And so what happens with a lot of small businesses is they just target everybody. They don't realize that, a lot of the messaging and a lot of the efforts they put in are going on deaf ears, because the only people that are interested in buying their products and services are that ideal customer avatar. And so actually Alex Hormozy talks about this as well in the book that we're talking about right now, the $100 million leads, is that you need to go where your target audience is. So once you have this avatar of your perfect audience, you have to find out where they hang out. Is it on Facebook? Is it on forums? A lot of digital marketers, they ask a lot of questions on the forum posts, for example. There are certain spaces, there are groups that are available in Quora, in Reddit, and other groups as well. There are other lesser known forum posts, forum groups as well, where marketers specifically go to ask questions. For example, Black Hat World, where there are some black hat topics that are discussed, but there are also valid and legitimate topics that are talked about. So if in this case, I do digital marketing. So if I want to sell my courses, if I want to sell my done for you service, I'm going to go on, for example, specifically Black Hat World, where it's a collection of literally digital marketers. There's nobody else there. I'm going to go there, and that's where I'm going to put my efforts in. I'm going to create a profile, answer questions, and also run paid ads, because that's going to be a worthwhile investment for me, is to run ads in a place where it's literally only my target audience who's asking questions, trying to learn digital marketing. And it's going to be a perfect place for me to identify and target these people.
Mr. Ivan, what are your short-term and long-term goals in helping entrepreneurs grow online by breaking down the exact steps?
Mm-hmm. So, short-term goals, I want to help as many businesses as possible. I want to reduce the barrier of marketing, because there are so many components. I know, because I started doing this when I first started learning about affiliate marketing. There are so many components and so many things that you just don't want to do, that it's a hassle. And at some point you say, screw this, I just don't want to do this. It's just too much work. So the short-term goal is to reduce the barrier by as much as possible, so that when new businesses start their business and they think of marketing, that term doesn't hurt their head. That's the short-term goal. Is it becomes so easy and so accessible and so, laid out in an easy to understand manner, that it becomes more of a fun activity to grow a brand rather than a challenge, which it is for most businesses. Because that's why most businesses fail, is because they fail to get the customers, right? It's like 80 or 90% of small businesses fail precisely because of this, because they don't get enough customers. Why don't they get enough customers? Because they can't do the marketing, because it's a challenge. A lot of people don't know the right way to go about it. So that's the short-term goal. The long-term goal, which I'm going to see if I can do it, it's going to be very hard. My vision is for every new business that registers with the government as a new small business, there's going to be an option right there that's going to say, it's going to be one button, and it's going to say, get your marketing set up. And the long-term goal is the concept, the idea that after people set up their business officially with the government, they incorporate themselves, or they get the small business license, they click that little button that says start my marketing, and everything will be done for them, whether it's via AI or with human help, which is what we do now with the Done For You service. We are a team that will do all this for you. My goal is for every small business to be able to just click that button, and for an affordable price, have all their marketing set up for them. That means their website, if they don't have one, their email marketing sequences and templates, their paid ads, their content on various different blog platforms, their content on their website as well, all of that. And they're tracking as well, by the way. So some of the more complicated and annoying stuff like Google Analytics and Google Tag Manager, which people hate to deal with because it's a bunch of technical stuff, to have all of that set up, their whole infrastructure set up for them with the click of a button. That's the long-term goal.
Good luck to your goals, Mr. Ivan, and looking forward for more success. And what will be your piece of advice for those people out there who want to be, of course, like you?
So in terms of like business growth, or in terms of digital
Both. Both.
marketing? Okay,
Both, Mr. Ivan.
cool. So yeah, I would say just devour as much content as you can. There's so much free content on YouTube, and very affordable content you can buy on marketplaces like Udemy, where you can buy courses, learn about whatever it is you're doing. Just learn as much as you can, because the more you learn, the more different ideas you get in your head. So for example, after reading the book, The $100 Million Leads, I started getting different ideas, not just exactly specifically what he taught, but you start diverging and diversifying, right? So if he talks about only one or two different traffic sources, I start thinking, okay, well, what if there's more? Let me go try out something totally else that he doesn't talk about, right? So I would say, yeah, devour as much as possible. Don't be afraid and keep your mind open, because when you think about marketing, there's not just one or two ways to go about it. Right now, it's very popular, again, to hear about Google and Facebook ads. Those are the giants right now. So keep an open mind. Realize that there's much more about whatever it is you're doing that you might not be aware of.
Thank you for that advice, Mr. Ivan. And can you please recommend a book or books that influence your journey?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I have a lot. So $100 million Leads, of course, by Alex Hermosi. $100 million Sales, I think he's got as well, by Alex Hermosi. I read that a while ago. No, $100 million Offer, sorry. So he's got $100 million Leads, $100 million Offer. Russell Brunson books as well are very, very good. So if you don't even have a business and you don't know where to start, how to start, and you're just a little afraid, I strongly recommend Expert Secrets. He encourages you, motivates you, and tells you that absolutely you know something. Absolutely everybody is good at something. It's just a matter of opening it up and putting it out there. Russell Brunson's .com Secrets is also very good, helps you with the traffic. In terms of more psychological and marketing side, I strongly recommend the book that kind of sets the foundation for everything, which is The Principles of Persuasion by Robert Cialdini. This book is about the 6 principles of persuasion. So things like reciprocity, things like social proof, all that. The benefit of this book is that it doesn't only apply to marketing, it applies to everything, really. So really, really good foundation for human psychology and marketing and how to get the things you want, really. So these are some of the strongest recommendations I have in terms of just psychology and marketing and growth in general.
Thank you for that recommendation, Mr. Ivan. And how can businesses repurpose existing content to get more mileage from it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I just recently came across this app called Vizard with a V .ai, which actually helps repurpose my YouTube videos into shorts. So anything you do, whether it's videos, which is super easy because you can just create the shorts from it, or podcasts, or blog content, if you're writing articles, you can repurpose parts of it and just post it on social media. So in my case, for example, for videos, I have videos that talk about various topics, mainly tutorials. For example, Google Ads tutorial, how to create a Google Ads campaign and account in 2025, right? The new updated one. So you can repurpose those via apps like Vizard.ai, or via people, via your design and editing team, to pick out specific parts, really engaging and really interesting parts that people might want to know about, and post them on social media. So in my case, for example, if I have a video on YouTube ads, how to create YouTube ads. YouTube ads has many different components and many different types of ads. And in the campaign creation process, there are many different definitions and terms that you come across that you might not know right away, or recommended settings. Google recommends a few settings which actually are not good. You will be losing money if you go with those recommended settings. And so the way you can repurpose your existing content, as in my case, I have been and am doing right now, is to figure out these parts that would be interesting for people and create a short on it. So for example, location settings. When you create a Google Ads campaign, Google Ads recommends that you leave the location setting to include the country that you're targeting as part of a search term, which is not the best recommended setting at all. You'll be losing money that way. And so this is one of the things that you could repurpose as a quick 20, 30-second short, just telling people about it. So any of these pieces of information that you have that will give value to your audience as a standalone piece of 20 to 30-second content are excellent pieces of content that you can repurpose.
Mr. Ivan, what's one marketing tactic that generate quick results for struggling businesses?
One marketing tactic, generate quick results. Well, if we're talking about quick results, it would have to be paid ads. So paid ads, native ads, any of these will get you quick results. Native ads is often quite an overlooked way. So if done right, native ads can make you a killing. I ran some native ads a few years ago, and I know some people and some fellow YouTubers that have successfully ran native ads. If you want the quickest results and the biggest reach, native ads for sure is the way to go. The warning is that you do need a budget for it. But if you're looking for quick, of course, what less can you expect? So the thing with native ads is they are ads that show up on different websites as organic natural content. So you sometimes you don't even realize that they're ads because they're natively integrated, right? So tools like Ref Content or Taboola, you can use those to create these native ads, and you will get so much traffic, so much. And if done right, and if you hit the right audience and the right placements and the right website that gets you some sales, and then you hone in on that specific website, you can make, a ton of money. So whatever it is you're selling, in my case, for example, if I was selling some weight loss products that cost $100 each, for example, I could sell 200 to 300 of those per day with native ads. Whereas with Google Ads, for example, also a paid source, you're limited by the paid search terms. So if you're looking for the quickest way to get the word out there and grow your business and you have the budget for it, I'd say native ads for sure would be great for you.
Well, Mr. Ivan, we need a tons of money to pursue our businesses. And before we wrap up our discussion for today, I'm inviting you to please do listen to my other podcast, people. My other podcast, because my Abstract Essay is already in fifth season, Abstract Poetry in second season, and my Book 101 review in fifth season too. Comedy 101 in second season, and my Food 101 in fifth season as well. Geography 101 in its fourth season, and my baby podcast Law 101 and Mental Health 101, Love Letters in its third season, and Movie 101 Review and Music 101 in its fourth season, and Science 101 and Sex 101 in its first season. Please listen to them wherever you listen your podcasts. And Mr. Ivan, if you could change one common misconception about marketing, what would it be?
Yeah, it would be that. Let me think on this for a second. Common misconception about marketing. Yeah, I'd say that the biggest common misconception and myth is that marketing is bad, that it's a dirty job, that all these marketers are bad, they're trying to sell me their products. And that's only the case because it's done incorrectly. And sometimes there's no way around it. I mean, if you're hired to stand outside looking like a chicken or whatever, trying to sell Popeyes, right, in your mascot costume, well, you have no choice but to just stand there and wave at everybody. That's what you're paid to do. But the biggest misconception, is that when you do see these ads, for example, on Facebook or whatever it is you're using, and you think, wow, like, why is this guy messaging me? This is an annoying salesman. That's because it's likely done incorrectly. Okay. So this misconception of marketing is bad is not the case, because marketing actually helps you. It should, if done correctly, it should help you towards your goals. Marketing is not some person trying to force his products or services down your throat. That's not what marketing is. Marketing is about, if done right, people offering services or products that you want, not that they want. So if you can find, as we discussed, this perfect customer avatar, and go to wherever it is that they are located and target them, then marketing is a great thing. It's amazing. You're helping people. You're expanding their reach for whatever it is they want to do, if done right. So I'd say that's the biggest misconception, is that marketing is this dirty, bad thing. People are trying to shove products down my throat. That's not at all the case.
Yes, Mr. Ivan Mena. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world. So can you please invite our listeners to support your advocacy, your business, or any projects that you're doing right now?
Absolutely. Yeah. So you can learn more about me and what I do on my website at ivanmana.com. where I give you free access to the step-by-step training course. You can take a look and learn the A to Z of marketing online. And then I also offer a done-for-you service solution where I just do the whole package for you. Everything from building a website to setting up tracking, setting up email marketing, paid ads, all that fun stuff. And of course, you can also follow me on YouTube. I have about 800 plus free tutorials at this point, youtube.com/Ivan Mana, and Instagram at instagram.com/ivanmana.biz. It's a fairly new profile on Instagram, but yeah, there's that.
Yes, people, let's support Mr. Ivan Mana, because if you support him, for sure, more and more and more empowering business to come. So, Mr. Ivan, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much, Daniel. Pleasure to be here.
More to come, people. See you soon.